Hello and welcome back to the video. Now in today's episode we're going to take a look at something slightly different. We're going to be looking at some computer aided design software. This software is called Google SketchUp, and the reason why we're going to use it today is because it's free for you guys to download and use at home. It's also the program that I teach students to use at the academy where I work at. This session is going to teach you the basics, and we're going to have a look at constructing from start to finish a bedside cabinet. Let's get started. Okay, so for those of you that aren't familiar, this is Google SketchUp, and we've got a selection of tools across the top of the page and across the side of the page. Now, I'd advise you familiarise yourself, and some of you might be thinking, oh, but sir, where are some of these tools that you've got? Well, they're all hidden up here in View, Toolbars, and there's a big list of things we can add onto there. But for now, we're just going to get straight in. Now, when we use Google SketchUp, often you get this little chap or someone very similar, and what I tell my students to do is drag a net around him and select him, and then press the delete key. We don't need him here. He's perfect for things like interior design, and if we're drawing a model life size and we need him there for reference. But we don't in today's session, so we're just going to get him. He's going to get in the way, so we'll just get rid of him. Right, okay, so first thing, we're going to select this rectangle tool at the top. I'm going to go down to the point of origin in the center. I'm going to click and drag a rectangle. Now, if you see that diagonal blue line appear, that means we've got a square. So I'm going to release it, and there I get a grey plane or polygon. I'm going to come over to the tool next to it called the push-pull tool. I'm going to select my plane or polygon, and I'm going to drag it up. I'm going to click when I've satisfied how high I want it, and then I can use this orbit tool to rotate around my object, 3 dimension. So next we're going to divide this with this line tool, and I'm going to bring my line down to the midpoint. I know it's the midpoint because it's gone sky blue. I can come to this top section and now divide the top area, and I can go into the bottom area and do the same again. So I end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 equally spaced areas. These are going to form the drawers of our cabinet. In fact, what we can do is use the push-pull tool on this bottom area and just push this back ever so slightly to create a little bit more of an interesting idea. Now, we want to create some thickness to this because all materials are made up of a thickness, whether it's a piece of timber or if it's a piece of metal, it's all got thickness to it. So here is no exception. We need to show we've got some thickness, so we're going to use this tool which we call the offset tool. I'm going to select the polygon, and I'm going to click and drag, and you see how I've got this little rectangle inside now. I could do it on the outside if I wanted, but for this we're going to do it on the inside. And I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to try and match it like that, and then below my third one I'm going to match it again just there like that. Now I've got my 3 drawers. I'm going to use the push-pull tool, and I'm going to pull this bottom drawer out. Now I've got to imagine that this drawer is going to come to about here now because I've pulled it out so far. I'm going to use the offset tool again. I'm going to select it, click and drag a rectangle like this. Again, I'm looking for that thickness. The front of my drawer has a thickness to it. I'm going to use the push-pull tool. And don't forget, if I go too fast, you can always pause me and rewind and have another look. And drag this down. You can just about see it. I'm going to grab the push-pull tool and push back, and it'll say offset limit reached. Click, let go of the mouse. Click again, and now we can push it back. So if I rotate that now, we can see straight inside this drawer. Okay, a nice little feature for you to add there. Now if we're going to add the detail, which we expect you to do, we're going to use the line tool. I'm going to select this top area. I'm going to put 2 little lines on like that. So this is a piece of timber, this is a piece of timber. I'm going to rotate round, and I'm going to continue this line all the way down like that. I'm going to rotate around to the other side, do the same on here. Now, it's quite often the case that underneath a set of drawers you have a sheet of plywood. So, whilst I'm looking underneath here, I wouldn't necessarily see anything because I'm just going to have a piece of plywood there. But I can see that I've got a drawer from here, like that. I mean, if you wanted to be really detailed, you could add that piece of plywood in there, but for this episode, we're going to stick to what we've got just here. So, quite happy with that. Need some way of opening those drawers. So, I'm going to have a go at using this circle tool. And I'm going to come to the midpoint. I'm going to click and drag a circle out, like that. I'm going to do the same thing on here. Now look how SketchUp helps guide me. It starts to plot points for me. It tells me how big things are in proportion to other parts. And it keeps things the same size. Now you might be thinking, but sir, you've gone mad. You've just added loads of balls on top of your drawers and they don't really do anything. Well, we're going to use the eraser tool and just cut out these lines like this. With the push tool, we can then push this back, let go, and it releases it. So there, I now have my little handle. And do the same thing on these two, like that. Okay, so what we could do now is we can have a little bit of fun. We can add a little bit of a design theme to this. So I'm going to take a line from one corner to the next, like that. I might just lift this up slightly. Yep, quite like the look of this. And I'm going to draw a line straight across the back. And this is going to be like a little, not a mouse pad, but like, you know, that kind of fabric you get. A little pad of fabric or something on top. And I have my alarm clock on there or something like that. In fact, I suppose we could actually detail the alarm clock on here, couldn't we? So you'll see that I'm flicking from button to button here, going quite quick. All I've done there is use the zoom in and out tool, and I've pulled down on my mouse, dragged down on my mouse to zoom out, and I drag up on my mouse to zoom in whilst I've got my button clicked down. And I've used the pan pull tool to move left to right so I can see a better angle. I could also use the orbit tool to rotate round, like that. Okay, so now I've got that little extra detail added there. I'm going to zoom out, rotate underneath, because now I need to add some feet to the bottom of this. So I'm going to use the pan tool to move this more central. And using the line tool again, I'm going to just divide this into sections, like so. And find the midpoints. Like that. And then we can pull these little feet down. Now, one really useful technique I've got for my students at the academy is when we pull something down. If I pull this, but I pull it to this line, notice it snaps. It snaps all over the place, but when I get to this part here, it snaps to the same thing. So I drag to this point, and they all line up the same height. So there we go. They're all there at the same height like that. And now I can use the eraser tool and get rid of my lines in between. I don't really need those anymore. They're only there to guide me. Fantastic. Right, okay, quite happy with what I've got there. Another little splash of detail we can add in. Again, we can go around this with a pen or the line tool. We can rotate around. I can pull my line across like this, all the way across like that. Now this is very important for later on. In a moment we're going to start rendering our product, our object, and we might want to choose a different material for the feet. So that gives us an opportunity to do so. And quite like what I've got going off there. That's quite interesting. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. Now if we go to this paint bucket tool, a lot of selection of materials pop up on the right hand side. Now we can go to this drop down menu and we can go all the way down to this section here called woods, and we've got all these different options to select from. So I'm going to pick something like a nice cherry here. Now I can click on all these and add textures to them individually, but for you guys at home you need to be learning the hotkeys. That's when I hold Control and I press a letter that allows me to do something. So I'm going to press A for all. That selects everything, and I can click it once and then just use the select tool and click off it, and then the whole object has been shaded in that wood texture. I can now come in with a different texture and add in the details that I want to show. Now I'm going to go for like a piney colour on this, so I can texturize all these parts inside, and I'll leave this bit usually quite dark because it's like the plywood inside there. I might want to go and select a metal now and just render inside. Now you see how it did that? It's done that, you've guessed it, because I missed that line there. There we go. And then I can use the orbit tool. Oops, excuse me. What I'm doing there, every time I make a mistake, I'm holding control and pressing Z, and that just allows me to go back a step. So if I make a mistake like that, I control Z, it just goes back. And there we go. And finish it off there. Underneath, remembers that plywood, so I'm going to keep that as it is. And then on top here, I'm going to have that little texture now. Because I could use that texture, that's quite nice actually, we'll use that. And using the orbit tool to rotate to the right area, and then very carefully selecting the paint tool to render our object. Like so. Okay, now with these parts, you could push that all the way back and it's not going to look very good, and we could press delete and then it... Well, I'll show you what happens when we delete it. If we delete that out of the way, we can see through into the other side, so we can see through into our object now, but because we didn't render the inside, it's going to look a bit naff. So what I would say, because it's a visualization, one thing I encourage students to do is to go to the colours, select the black texture, and just render those two bits black. So we can see, okay, so that's going to go inside there. And we've got some nice thickness in there to show us how it works as well. Fantastic. Okay, last thing, we're going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to pan over to the side. Now, this is where I'm going to use these tools here. So this is the Shadows tool, and we find it in the View, Toolbars, and we would scroll down until we find Shadows, which is just here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the little box here with the shadows, and then boom, I get these shadows here. This red bar represents the months of the year, so we've got January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and we've got the time of the day from noon to sunset. Right, so at the moment, if we look at the time today, it's 7:55, and we're in the middle of June, so I can scroll to June and we can go all the way around to 7:55. Now, we could do it exactly to what today's date is going to be, and if we were doing an architecture piece, that would be perfect because we could see what the sun's going to do in our piece of our architectural drawing. Because this is going in a bedroom, I want to pick where the shadow goes, so I want it in here so I can see that it would cast into this object like that. And we get a little bit of a shadow behind it, but there we go, really nice and neat, well presented drawing. However, we have dipped below this red line. Now you can see the shadow kicks out here and it drops below our object, so I'm going to use Control A, select it all. I'm going to click the Move tool, I'm going to grab the very bottom and just pull it up so that it meets this red line like that. It's a bit fiddly, but it can be done. It's probably better to do it on the origin, to be fair. And then Control D to deselect, or I can use the Select tool and click in the grey space. There's our object, ready to be used on the front cover of our latest design page. Okay, so what have we learnt in today's session? In today's session, we've had a look at Google SketchUp. We've learnt about the fundamental tools like the line tool, the push-pull tool, the orbit tool, and the pan tool. I've taught you how to access the shadows tool, so you can add shade and shadow to your objects once you've finished rendering it using the paint bucket tool. So have a go at home creating a product like this, which is what we've done today, and then let us know how you get on in the comments below, or you can send us some pictures via our social media links which are on the channel. Additionally, and lastly from me, stay safe so that you don't miss one of our videos. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you don't miss another episode. Until next time, bye now.